everyone, I'm Jim Longworth, and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Coming up later on, our infamous roundtable gets together. We'll see what kind of controversies they get into, but between now and then, some great guests and information coming your way. For one thing, we'll have a discussion about independent living for seniors, where they might want to avail themselves of some assisted services. I think you'll find that interesting. And we'll also check in and tell you about a new medical facility that's just on the horizon with three special guests to tell us about that. But first, we turn our attention to a big event that's just around the corner, and a gentleman who's been on the show, but he doesn't come often enough. I'm glad we could grab him here. He's going to tell us about this big event. On my right, Walker Sanders is president of Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Thank you, Jim.
Good to see you.
Always good to be here.
Before we talk about the big event that I was sort of getting everybody's interest piqued on, for people that maybe haven't seen us on air together before, give us a little background on what the mission of the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro is.
All right. Well, thank you. We have the unique opportunity to work with hundreds and hundreds of families throughout the Greensboro area to kind of help them do what they're passionate about. We work with those families in setting up different charitable funds, manage those funds during their lifetime and after their lifetime to really do great things in the community. Kind of our motto is strengthening community, inspiring giving. And if you have a passion and you want to give back, then the Community Foundation can help you do that.
And I could do a gift, if I like music or something, I can do a gift to help students who are majoring in music or scholarships. If I could put something in my will, so all those things fit into things you take care of, right?
We are kind of the community, we're an anchor institution for Greensboro. And people that really love Greensboro and want to make sure their legacy continues on in Greensboro forever, past their current generations, that's what the Community Foundation is for.
Now, I promised we were going to talk about this big event coming up. It's a special forum coming up in April. Now, what's the focus going to be?
Workforce development.
Workforce development. Now, why is that important for us to know? What does it really mean?
Well, it's important to kind of set a context for where Guilford County is as a community. Each year the Community Foundation looks at doing some sort of an annual meeting, and we felt it was more important, rather than have a lunch meeting with 800 of our closest friends, we wanted to go deep on an issue that we felt was an issue that the community needed to understand more about and understand how they can get involved and address that. And workforce development is such a catchphrase. We wanted to kind of break that up so people could understand what that means. And if we're trying to grow our economy in this community, we need to kind of step back and think about what really attracts new businesses to come here and what do existing employers need. They need qualified workers. They need workers to fill the type of jobs that we have today. And right now we have some real big challenges in Guilford County. We have some things to build upon, but we have to face some big challenges. If you look at our workforce and our competitiveness for the 21st century, we have about 44% of our current workforce that has a post-secondary credential. And what I mean by that is a professional certificate or a 2-year associate degree or a 4-year bachelor degree, only 44%. And what we know from studies across the country is that in America, 60% of all jobs in America will require some sort of professional certification or post-secondary degree by the year 2020 or 2025. We're using the year 2030. It gives us a runway to figure out how we go from our current 44% to that 60% number.
I didn't realize that. That's an interesting statistic, but before time gets away from us, I want to make sure we sort of break format here. Usually I do this at the very end of the segment, but I want to put up some information on screen. The Community Foundation Forum on Leadership and Workforce Development. It's going to be Tuesday, April 23rd from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Where's it going to be?
It's going to be at Grandover.
At Grandover. The website is up there, cfgg.org/foundation-forum or -forum 2019. And you can also see the phone number up on screen. We've got all those logos. I really hope we can get you back because there's so much about workforce development. I'd love to pick your brain about if you can come back and do it sometime.
It's an important discussion, and that's something we want everyone involved in. It's going to take everybody to be part of it, the universities, the public schools, existing businesses, our elected leaders. There's a role for everyone to play in doing this. Even yourself and individuals watching this show, there's a role that they can play in helping us address our workforce challenges.
Walker, in addition to all the regular things you do for the community, thanks for pulling together all these resources and partners to make this happen. And again, will you come back sooner than later?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you, pal.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back after this. I'm going to Triad Today, and I have two very special people with me who work for a very special place that's doing special things for great kids. And we're going to meet them right now. She's been here before with us, but let's meet her again. Kelly Riley is Assistant Director of Foster Care Licensing for Cross North School and Children's Home. Kelly brought with her a special guest, Angie Hall, who's Adoption Specialist. at Cross Noor. Welcome, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good to be here.
Kelly, we'll start with you and just remind us of what Cross Noor's mission is for somebody maybe you have not seen one of the segments before.
Sure. It's about helping grow healthy futures for children and their families. So whatever challenges they're facing, if that means they are not able to live together in a family setting, or if they need support in school or need counseling and support services, Cross Noor is there as a sanctuary to help them find hope for the future.
Tell me something, Kelly, about the average child in foster care and what the need is here in North Carolina.
Sure. That's a tough question. I think the idea of an average child, it really is the full range of children that need support through foster homes. So we have children that are newborns all the way up to age 21, kids of every race, every cultural background. What I will say is that about 2/3 of children are under the age of 10 that are placed in foster care. However, we have the hardest time finding families to help care for our kids that are older than 10.
Which leads us to the last question I have for you, and then I'll jump to Angie, which is that you have a training class for people that might want to be foster parents,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we do.
What is that about? I mean, what are you helping them with?
It's training about the impact of trauma, how the system works, how you can support children in developing healthy behaviors and healing from what they've experienced. It really gives you as much as anything can in terms of preparation for what it's all about.
Well, that's right. Angie, no, I think you sent me an email the other day saying that this month, November, is Adoption Awareness Month.
Yes.
I mean, there are a lot of these special months that we hear about that are great causes. But why is this one important, and what's something that you might want us to know about adoption in general?
Well, November has been designated Awareness Month for several years now, and it serves two purposes. One, to call attention to our adoptive parents who have opened their homes to children in need all across the nation, and also to call attention to how many children are still in foster care that need a supportive family. There are over 10,000 children in the state of North Carolina alone.
10,000 in North Carolina in foster care, but would like to have sort of a forever family,
Absolutely,
and they're waiting.
yes.
Can a foster parent, let's say that my wife and I are foster parents, can we wake up one morning and say, I'm going to call Angie and ask her, can we adopt this child? Or because you're in the foster care system and your parents, and you're not supposed to? I mean, what's the rule?
Well, with our program, we do have the requirement that our parents be licensed. So as they come in, they meet Kelly and our other licensure folks. They go through the program, and then we help them with the transition once they're ready to adopt.
Right.
And it's a good program, and we have post-adoption services as well, and we create an excellent bond with our families in the community.
I just think that the work you all do, and I want to put you on the spot. We didn't rehearse any of this. Let me ask each of you very quickly before time runs out. Why do you like doing what you do?
I love helping families, seeing kids, seeing the light come on in their faces.
It changes them, doesn't it?
It does.
Angie?
Adoption Day is fantastic. It's probably the best. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and that is the day that's the most special.
And Cross Noor is just such a great environment as you're nurturing these kids who are waiting and getting great education and great support and counseling. Anybody who hasn't been on campus should maybe, I guess they can call and take a tour if they want.
Absolutely.
Can't they? It's just a great, they have a farm there and everything. It's just great stuff. Look, before time runs out, let me put this up on screen. For more information, to learn all about this and maybe how you might want to become a foster parent and learn more about adoptions, www.crossnoor.org is the website. I'll say it again for the radio listening audience, www.crossnoor.org. And I just appreciate everything you two ladies are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. We'll be right back after Triad Today. We've covered a lot of topics about senior care here on the program, thanks to the good folks at Ridge Care, and they come in with some great topics. But, I want to know about this. There was an email was sent to me the other day, and I think our guest sent it to me about folks who want to live independently, but maybe also want to avail themselves of some assisted services. And I think that's an interesting question there. So let's go right to our expert on my right, beautiful Deb Fletcher, who is Executive Director at Arbor Ridge in Kernersville, part of the Ridge Care family. Good to see you.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for coming by.
Thank you.
What does an independent living community offer to seniors, and why is that preferable to just remaining in my home?
I think there's two main factors, safety and security. The fact that so many seniors find themselves in a situation where home maintenance is overwhelming and upkeep is overwhelming.
Yeah, I don't want to do the yard work anymore and all this
cleaning stairs.
Yeah.
I mean, going up and down stairs sometimes. But then you come to the idea that you've got, maybe you've lost a spouse, and it's the isolation as well.
Right.
The security that someone can answer and be at your side in 60 seconds if something happens.
No, that's true.
You know, if there's a fall, if there's an illness, something like that would maybe move someone into thinking about retirement living.
Right, so that's my option. So I'm thinking about, well, maybe this situation fits me. So I go and I talk to your folks at Arbor Ridge, and of course Ridge Care operates a lot of facilities around the state, down in the eastern part of the state, around the Piedmont. But Arbor Ridge in particular, we'll just use that as an example. Now, and this, I'll put you on the spot. Would I have to, let's say, well, yeah, Deb, I'm interested in this, but do I have to sign a long-term lease, or do I have to buy my apartment here? What happens?
No, there is no buy-in. We are on a month-to-month lease situation. Considering you're a senior, it's a very good, I think it's thoughtful and it's effective that you don't need to be tying up a lot of money.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen in the near future.
Right.
Or down the road a little bit.
And this is like apartment living.
It is
and
apartment
people sometimes say,
living.
wait a minute, what's the difference? Yes, Ridge Care and other folks offer things that are assisted living, where you go in and maybe you need the use of a wheelchair, or you've got medical staff on there, or whatever. This is you're in an independent living, independent apartment. But now, can I also, if I'm living there independently in my apartment, can I avail myself of, say, something like home health services?
Absolutely. There's two things. There's home care and there's home health. Home care, we have our own licensed home care agency on the premises 24/7.
Oh, good.
And they can help in a short-term or a long-term situation. Let's say someone's come to us just because they're having trouble managing their medications and family's afraid they may not be taking what they need to take or taking too much of something. We can address that without them losing their independence.
Yeah, right, help to monitor the situation. Now, in my apartment, I would have what, a small kitchen?
You have a kitchenette in every apartment,
So
yes.
I can make, but let's say if I don't feel like making food.
Oh,
or
3
making
meals
dinner.
a day, Jim. 3 meals good, Southern cooking 3 times a day.
And you can even get those sent up to the apartment, I guess.
can,
That's
yes,
just
sir.
so neat. What about social activities?
We want everyone to really feel like they are aging in place and enriching their lives with these things. We have, let's see, on Mondays we go shuttle shopping. We take people out to run their errands and hit all the places that they want to
And you have all sorts of walking things going on at the mall, too. That's cool, too.
We
yeah.
do, indeed.
Yeah.
And then we have like chair yoga. We have what used to be called Silver Sneakers,
Yeah,
Senior Fit,
yeah.
in the building. We have entertainers at least 3 times a week.
Wow.
In there, and you're going out to lunch maybe on Fridays, and you're going to Senior Gardens, or you're going, to a movie or a play.
And on
or
weekends, you
something.
suggest they all watch Triad Today.
I think that's the best idea. It's right there on the schedule.
Up on the, and look, if I'm want to live, independently, and maybe I don't want to worry with housekeeping, you can take care of that too.
Oh yes,
All right.
housekeeping, maintenance, all of those things included.
Up on screen is something I want people to see. Ridge Care, this is the general website, ridgecare.com, 993-0160, I believe gets you right to
Me.
Arbor Ridge, to Deb. But the general website is ridgecare.com for our radio listening audience. For hear that one more time, 993-0160, to give Deb a call and her staff, and to go over there and pay a visit to Arbor Ridge and see what you think. And you do a great job over there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
It's our pleasure to do
All right,
it.
dear. We'll be right back on Triad Today, and we're going to talk about a brand new medical facility that's on the horizon. I told you about that early in the program. We're going to do it with 3 very special guests. On my right, Dr. Andrew Snyder. Andy Snyder is a surgeon at Forsyth Plastic Surgery who has been with us for 16 years on this show. We first met, he was our first guest 16 years ago, and he hasn't aged any. And next to him, Kensley Nix, who is aesthetic manager at the practice, and then our good buddy, Dr. Gil Kingman, surgeon at Forsyth Plastic Surgery. Welcome all. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jim.
When I drive by your office, Andy, it seems like there's some construction going on, and I don't want to just go up and put my nose on the windows. Hey, what's going on? So you tell me what's going on.
Well, we are very excited because we are in the middle of a construction project right now. If you drive by our office on Maplewood Avenue, you'll see a mud pit with cement blocks rising out of it right now. A lot of construction, a lot of bulldozers going on. We are adding a lot of space to our office. We're basically putting a 2-story addition onto our office that's going to really be spectacular and giving, no pun intended, our office a facelift.
That's right. That's right. Now, Kinsley, what is this going to be called? I mean, is it just an extension of Forsyth Plastic Surgery, or does it have a new name?
Well, Jim, you're going to love this. That's a great question. We have never released this to the media yet, so
Wow.
you hear it first here. Okay, you ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be called the Vista at Forsyth Plastic Surgery.
I like that, and I think we have a logo that'll be showing up on screen. That's pretty cool. Now, what is the Vista gonna what is it gonna offer that maybe you haven't offered before, or you offer more of, or what is it gonna do?
It's going to offer several things that we already do, and probably some new exciting things that we're not going to release yet. So you have to stay in tune for that.
Right. Okay. Now, Andy, who will be working at the Vista? Will be extra staff or same staff, or what's going to go on?
Well, it's going to be mostly our same staff, but we are going to be adding some new people. The doctors and the nurses will be working there. The idea is that this is going to be a place just for aesthetics. So when a patient wants to come and have a very special experience, whether they're coming in for an injection like Botox, or they're coming in for a procedure like cool sculpting, or a mirror dry, or a laser procedure, it's just going to be a very special, dedicated facility just for them. It's going to really be, I think, very unusual and very nice.
Yeah, let me put you on the spot just a second, because I want to be clear about this, because you'll do so many great surgeries and help so many people with things, corrective surgery, breast reconstruction, all sorts of things, and have your own, operating rooms and everything. Now, I assume all this is going to happen and continue to happen, and then this new complex, you just go in a different door and you can get these services, but you still have the backup of having surgeons there. Give me sort of a feel of how it's all going to work.
Well, actually, this new space will allow us to expand our current space. So we'll have more room for those reconstructive procedures and that kind of care as well. But the Vista, which is going to offer a beautiful view, that's kind of where the name comes from.
Right.
Outside and inside, really. People will come there to try and get their beautiful view through Forsyth Plastic Surgery.
And that would be sort of under the category of non-invasives, as opposed to something where you've got to do some.
Correct. There's so much technology now, like Kinsley said, that we currently have, and then that we'll be investing in new technology, but getting rid of fat, tightening skin, shaping, those kinds of things.
Right.
That'll be really nice to offer in that aesthetic center.
Andy, let me put you on the spot with this too. When is the facility, the Vista part of everything, when is that going to open and everything's ready to go?
Well, we're on schedule to have this finished around mid-September. So we do have a fair amount of time to go through the summer, a lot of construction going on. We are hoping to do the ribbon cutting sometime in the middle of September and really be fully operational by then. And I think what you're going to see is a facility unlike any other in the Triad, a facility this size, dedicated to aesthetics, managed by board-certified plastic surgeons. I think it's going to be very, very unique in the Triad and really be something special for this city.
Yeah, because Kinsley, there's a lot of spas out there. There are medical facilities or different things, but this seems to be putting everything under one roof with some great surgeons, a great team, very well supported, right?
Absolutely. And with the support of the plastic surgeons, the doctors, it's going to be the best place to be at.
I just think it's great.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing. I think it looks great already. I've seen the artist renderings, which I think we showed earlier too on screen while we were talking. Speaking of that, let's go to something I want people to know about, and that's the website, www.forsythplasticsurgery.com, and I will repeat it for the WSJS radio listening audience, forsythplasticsurgery.com. That'll give you all sorts of information about the types of procedures and services that go on there. The phone number is 765-8620. But again, please go on that site and visit it and learn all about the practice. And then when it comes time for the Vista open, I'm sure you guys will be back, and we'll, instead of having a rendering, we'll have some video of the actual building, right?
Well, you could broadcast live from the Vista.
That's right.
That's right.
On location.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Hey, thanks for doing this, and congratulations.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Jim.
We'll be right back after this. Back now on Triad Today. Before we get to the roundtable, some sad news to report. A good friend of the ABC 45 and my 48, not just a good friend, but a member of our family for 20 years, Jim Robbins, passed away a few days ago. He was a program coordinator, and among other things, he was forced to be tortured to have to watch now 723 Triad Todays and make sure they got on the air. Old Jim was 59 years old, too soon, and we will miss him. Before we get to the roundtable, also just a quick plug for Yes Weekly. We hope you will pick this out. I have an article in here about which of the women that are running for Democratic presidential nomination might break the glass ceiling. Hope you will do that. Speaking of breaking things up, let's see what we can do to these topics we have on our roundtable. And next to me on the right, but always the political left, Ogie Overman, the great broadcaster journalist. Next to him, the lovely, talented, hard-nosed, tough-minded president of Dudley Beauty Products, Ursula Dudley Oglesby. And next to her is a world traveler who spends each weekend playing golf in Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump. Keith Granberry, who is a founder of Helping Hands Consultants, doing some great work in economic development and other things overseas. All right, guys and gals. A new Elon University poll shows that over half of North Carolinians want to be able to purchase liquor from private businesses instead of state-run ABC stores. Do you agree? And if so, will the General Assembly allow it? Ogie.
You know, I don't have a dog in that fight, but I think typically Republicans like privatization of things, so I'd like to keep it the way it is.
Ursula.
I think the state needs the revenue, because if they lose that revenue, then they're going to look for it somewhere else. That means increased taxes or something else, so I think it's going to be okay.
Keith.
I think they're going to keep it the way it is. The state needs that revenue, absolutely.
All right, Triad area legislator John Hardister wants the state to establish a new bipartisan commission to draw up congressional district boundaries and get rid of gerrymandering. There'll be some Republicans and Democrats, but for the first time, he says, let's have 3 members of the committee that are unaffiliated voters. Good idea, and will his fellow lawmakers go along with it?
You know, props to Hardister.
Yeah.
He must have been talking to the right people.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I've been saying it for years. We all have.
Yeah.
But will it pass the Republican legislature? Not until 2020.
Ursula.
Yeah, I love the idea. I hope that it would pass. I mean, we need to do more bipartisan work like that. I think that would be great.
Keith.
It's not going to pass. The Republicans don't even want to give the governor his power that he's supposed to have by the Constitution. So why would they give something that would be bipartisan? Not going to happen.
A lot of people up there in Raleigh like gerrymandering.
Oh, love it.
They think
That's why they're there.
yeah, they think gerrymander is a legislator. They just haven't done it.
Republican from Buncombe County.
Yeah, Republican from Bladen. All right, now Guilford County school officials are proposing to make the day before Thanksgiving a school holiday, that Wednesday. You okay with local schools extending the holiday, because wouldn't that put a hardship on working parents and child care and all that? I'm just wondering. Ogie?
Well, yeah, not only that, but you got Thursday off. You already got a 4-day week, plus you got Christmas coming up in another 3 weeks. I don't get it.
Ursula?
Well, I think it all depends upon if they're actually doing something that Wednesday. You know, my children tell me that oftentimes that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, not a lot is happening anyway, so might be okay.
I think it should happen. Nothing is happening the day before Thanksgiving. They're letting kids out early anyway, so they might as well go ahead and make it an official holiday.
All right, a Florida couple says they intend to raise their new baby boy as gender neutral. They say he can determine his own gender whenever he wants. Guys and gals, are these parents progressive or just plain crazy? Ogie?
Well, maybe a little of both. You know, I'm a liberal guy. I don't get that either exactly. I mean, 1 in a million kids turns out to be transgender. I mean, be what you are until you're not.
Yeah. Ursula?
That's a tough one. I mean, I just don't know. I think
Crazy?
hopefully the parents know their child. I can't say one way or the other.
Keith?
I think you have to allow a kid to be what the kid is going to be. You cannot dictate what the kid is going to be. Allow that kid to grow into whatever he's going to be.
I'm still gender neutral, I think. I'm not sure what that means. 6 women are now running for president. I mentioned in my article in Yes Weekly about I think there's going to be a woman to break the glass ceiling. Hopefully it's Kamala Harris, so keep the cards and letters to yourself. 6 women are now running for president, including Elizabeth Warren, who got in trouble for saying she was American, Native American, but she's really not. They each have some baggage going on. Anyway, my question is, who of these women might break the glass ceiling? Ogie?
I think Kamala's good. I think Elizabeth Warren, if she is smart, she'll turn that Pocahontas thing around. And every time Trump says it, say, okay, Pinocchio, what about it? What are you going to do about it, Pinocchio?
All right, Ursula?
I would love for someone to be able to break the glass ceiling, one of those women. I just don't think that the country is ready for it, unfortunately.
For 2020,
Yeah.
Keith?
I think they're all, again, running for vice president. Joe Biden is going to be the nominee for the Democrats, and he's going to select either a woman or African-American male.
All right. One of the things I want to finish up on here is something we've talked about before, but now it's come out in a High Point University poll that 38% of North Carolinians have used an online dating service. Guys and gals, have you ever used an online dating service? And if you were single, Keith is, but if Ursula and and Ogie were single,
No,
would
I'm
you,
not.
Would you use it? Well,
Don't you get me in trouble.
I mean, in the broadest sense of the word. Would you use a dating service?
Now, back when I was dating, there was no such thing, but the stigma is totally gone. I don't disparage anybody for using one, but I honestly wouldn't need to.
So if you were single now, you would not use it?
I wouldn't need to.
You wouldn't need to.
That sounds
You're
terrible.
so
That sounds
what a
arrogant.
bragger.
I'm sorry.
What a bragger.
I shouldn't have said
Ursula.
I'm lucky that I don't need one right now, but who knows? Why? I might try it and see what happens if I needed it. But
Does
I
your
don't
husband
right now,
know about
thank goodness.
this?
Yeah. Oh, he's
Yeah,
he's good.
all right.
He's
Keith,
secure.
would
First of all, I'm not single. But if I was single, I wouldn't need to use an online dating
You're like
service. They
Ogie.
just keep
You and
knocking.
Ogie are sort of the GQ braggadocios.
Why not?
Can I just say, from my heart, I'm sick of both of you. That's all the time we have, except for this. A new study by scientists at RMIT University in Australia says that honeybees can be taught to add and subtract. Asked why he teaches the bees addition and subtraction, one scientist said because they already know how to multiply.
Oh my goodness.
For all of us, what's wrong with that?
Clever, very clever,
What's
Jim.
wrong with that? I don't need, just go away. That's all the time we have, and we'll see you next week.